Hey everyone, welcome to this new episode of All Black Emery's podcast. Basically, this episode, it's the third of the year, and we are basically just going to be reflecting on what we've done throughout the year and what ABE means to us. So I guess we can go around and saying like our names and titles and everything like that. For me, I am Jada. I am the executive producer at All Black Emery.
I'm Nancy, and I am the marketing director at ABE.
I'm Adeze, and I'm the creative producer for All Black Emery.
Perfect. So now we're just going to talk about like what is like the core purpose of like All Black Emery, or what does like All Black Emery mean to like you guys?
If I can go first. So I think for me, one thing in specific is just because we all know that, Black people are not a monolith, and we say that and we realize that, but at the same time, I think just having conversations with different people within ABE and the people we get to interview, I think is realizing and truly like understanding how Black people have different experiences. Black people come from different places around the world, and kind of understanding how we can view things differently, and that's okay. We do have a shared experience, but it's important to also point out the fact that we have separate um, just outlooks on life, I think, and it's important to have conversations surrounding that aspect.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Partly, just being a Black person in a predominantly white community, you have to be able to like navigate, learn your way around, know who to talk to. So I think it's very good to have a special closure of people that are like you, where you can discuss issues that you're currently facing, anything that's oppressing someone that you may know. Because instead of just letting those issues sit on the back burner, they should be brought up into light, because people can be educated through conversations as well.
No, definitely agree with like both you guys, especially like Black people. We're not like a monolith and everything. So I feel like with having like these different podcast episodes and just having the different like educational posts, we're allowed to see kind of like the how let's say we're not like a monolith. We have like different perspectives and everything like that, come from different backgrounds, and also just highlight that and form like a sense of like community on campus, because like I've definitely been in like PWIs like for like majority of my life and everything, so it can be hard establishing that community or you feeling like you're seen on campus. So that is one of the reasons why I love ABE, is also creates like a safe space where like people can just talk about like their own perspectives and everything like that. And then I feel like, yeah, with like the mission, I feel like through what I said, like everything that we've done, we've like helped, we've like, I would say we definitely like accomplished our mission, not accomplished our mission, but we've definitely done steps to like to I don't know the word, but to like,
I guess following our mission, yeah,
yes,
to
following
follow
our
what it
mission.
is that
There
our
you go.
mission, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys
It's
think?
true.
Yeah, I definitely think we've made steps to improve the conditions of Emory's community and like a society in whole. Even though we're a small part, just being there is a step forward into like making a greater change in the future. And I think that as more people come to know of us and just like address issues that they know are prevalent in our community, I think that we can start to grow even more. Yeah.
Yeah. And just going on that point, one thing I love about ABE is that it also shows how like everything pertaining to Black people doesn't have to do with trauma. And like we talked about Black art, right? And like Black artists. And like I think that emphasizes how Black culture is very rich, and everything like doesn't have to do with slavery or Jim Crow. I think that's a big part of our history, but that doesn't have to be where we stop. That doesn't have to be the focal point. We can we can talk about different things, we can have different conversations, and yeah, just kind of emphasizing Black joy, and yeah, looking at the range of different things that Black experience, I think, like Black experience is about, and how Black experience takes different forms, I think.
Yeah, I love that. And like I feel like just constantly talking about like slavery, like even though it's definitely like an important thing we need to address, it can very be like mentally like draining and everything. So it's nice to talk about like the different like representations of Black culture and Black joy, and kind of like uplift the Black community in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So what are you guys' like ideas for like next year, how we can improve next year?
I think we could probably have some more recruiting events. Not sure if it would have to be in person or like through online experiences that we could probably plan, or just something to get us out in the open a little more than we were this year. I probably think that social media will be a very good advantage for us to utilize.
Yes, I agree. And maybe, I mean, this is just kind of an idea, but hosting more events, or at least trying to, like maybe in the EBSU, it doesn't have to be anything big, but just getting people together in person if we can, to kind of maybe hold a conversation about a different topic, but kind of getting that in-person experience as well, to kind of bring Emory together, Black Emory together. Maybe not like, it doesn't have to be anything big, but just a small, chill event, something that we can talk to people, and then maybe eat, like have some food, and then,
No,
move
exactly.
on. But
Like I believe we did that like our first year of ABE, we did something called like a table chat or something, where there's like different topics, and like everyone was just in groups, and we just had like an honest conversation about like what is happening at Emory, and how it can like support the Black community and everything. And I feel like definitely like in person like programs or something like that can help like just build more of a community. Like there's never enough community on campus. So with doing that, and maybe collaborating with other Black organizations on campus, I feel like that can definitely help us make strides towards our mission as overall. And then what was it? I don't know, how do you guys think that like Black Emory can help like us meet this mission? If that makes sense. Like I guess for me, I guess the way that Black Emory can help is just by showing up, and just being able to share your perspectives on like different situations and everything, because it's so valuable to hear other people's perspectives and outlooks. um I know that's something that like I really love to like hear while being an ABE as well.
Yeah, just
yeah, I agree
as
with them.
with what you said, I think even it doesn't always only have to be Black people, I guess. Any like person of color is also a valuable like group of people that we can also learn from their experiences and their stories of what they've been like dealing with in Emory's campus. But I think in terms of like Black Emory, that just listening to others and them collaborating and bringing others that they may know that are also going through what they may be going through is also going to be valuable to us, that we could like interview them potentially.
Yes, I agree with both of you guys. Just like, I think Black Emory needs to be more willing to be open and vulnerable enough to kind of hold these type of conversations and not shy away from them. I know we're all busy, kind of school and just the work of Emory, but at the same time, I think it's important that we kind of make time for these conversations and don't kind of push them away as like unimportant, but take the time to um gathering community and just talk.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, like it's like so many things can happen from just like one conversation. So it's
Mhm.
definitely like important, and it just makes such an impact.
Right. And like kind of one thing that this reminds me of is kind of, in 2020 when, the unrest was happening and, racial, just everything that was happening racially. I think that was the moment when people were like, okay, it's now time to have conversations. But I think if we had conversations before, it wouldn't seem so kind of like we would know where to start already because we'd already
Mm.
kind of been talking about this, but it felt like everyone was kind of rushing to have conversations and kind of um people didn't really know what to say or what to do because I think sometimes we don't talk about something until it's like, oh, now we're at the point where like the fire, like we're burning, so we have to talk about it. But I think we need to be more willing to, okay, talk about all these things beforehand, even before like it seems like, oh, we have to talk about it now. So
I feel like even if like some like conversations can be like uncomfortable, but they are like important to have.
yeah.
So that's definitely something. And like with All Back Emery, we definitely want to have those important conversations, but also be a place where like we can just like have fun and like not have to like have a kind of that like burden on you 24/7. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but just to show other aspects of the Black community and Black life as well.
Mhm.
And then I don't, and currently we are looking like we're trying to grow our executive community to have more voices and more perspectives on the ABE board. So like how or who are we looking for as we grow the executive community, do you guys think?
I think anyone who would be willing or interested in making a difference in our community, anyone that has the skills and the personality in order to have these conversations and realize that these issues are definitely very important and be able to like apply what they know to these issues and promote a better overall like moral community within the club itself.
Yes, I agree. I think anyone who's willing to, as I said before, be open, but also open to listen, not only kind of hold conversation, but also like actively listen to people. And yeah, someone who's creative, willing to learn, willing to teach us something. So that's what I think.
Definitely. And then now we're going to be talking about like our experiences with All Back Emery. So like how has your experience been with like ABE and what have you learned so far? For me, I definitely it's been a really good like experience like um with like the podcast and figuring out different ways we could or different topics we can talk about to bring the Black community together or just talk about something different. Um, and also, it's been really, really eye-opening as well because I get to hear other people's perspectives that I probably wouldn't have thought about before. And honestly, it's amazing, like to hear or to help create a safe space where people feel vulnerable to express like the way like they're feeling and everything like that.
I think with this club, I've realized that there are a lot more Black people outside of this Emory bubble that probably also would want to be heard. But I think through our efforts and the efforts that we're making to reach out to like outsiders to bring them back into Emory's community, Black community, I think that's really been eye opening for me, and like in seeing how different like life in Emory is for Black people versus the outside. And I've just really enjoyed my experience just being around people, other people who look like me and like are going through the same issues. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also kind of hearing, I think you said this, Jada, like just hearing people's stories and just their different perspective. Like I said, I think sometimes we can be conditioned to think that Black people, like we say Black people are not a monolith, but at the same time when someone is doing something different, we're like, oh, Black people do that. But I think realizing that, yeah, like the Black experience is very diverse, and there is a range, like you can't be Black in one way. There's a range of what it means to be Black. So I think actually hearing people's stories, hearing the things that they say, they do, on Emory's campus, I think has been very just eye-opening for me, and has kind of helped me relearn and unlearn some things that I realized that I hold some, just, some preconceived notions that I hold about Black people as well. So that's been very interesting.
Definitely. And I believe that's all the questions that we've had for this like little reflection. Do you guys want to say anything or anything else that you guys want to talk? No,
I think that's all I had.
Yeah, I think that's all.
yeah. I feel like it's definitely important to just like reflect on like what we've done and like how in the ways we want to go forward as an organization um to help like work on like our missions and everything like that. So I really loved having this conversation, talking with you guys and everything. And with this, I believe this is the wrap of season 2 of All Black Emory, which is crazy to say. But yes, thank you so much for listening in and for just listening to what people, the Black community has to say.